By all accounts, the Nikon Z9 is Nikon's best mirrorless camera. Now I have a Z6 and a Z7, but I will not buy a Z9, at least not until they add one thing, which I believe can be added by firmware. It's something every Nikon flagship camera since the D3 has, and also the Nikon 800 series, as well as the Z7 and the Z7 II. So what is it? It's the ability to select the 5:4 image area, which scales right up to 8:10 without cropping. Okay, so let me explain why that is so important to me. A large part of my business are portraits, headshots, senior portraits, even some prom photos. And the most popular print size that people order is 8:10. So I can shoot in the 5:4 image ratio, and that scales right up to 8:10. So what I see in the viewfinder is what I get in the print with no or minimal cropping. So let me explain further. The ratio with 35mm film is 3:2. The same ratio as the image sensor in most digital cameras. And that scales up to 8:12 without cropping. So if you're going to need to make an 8:10 of a vertical portrait, you got to remember to leave space above the subject's head for cropping. And the same holds true when shooting something horizontal. You got to remember that you're not going to be able to print that entire frame in an 8:10. You're going to lose from the sides. So when shooting a vertical, you're going to lose from the top and bottom. When shooting horizontal, you're going to lose from the sides. Now, let's look at a few photos to illustrate this. Okay, so these images were shot with my Nikon D810, which offers the 5:4 image ratio. And I set up this composite with a canvas size in Photoshop of 21:12. So the image on the left is the full image out of the camera set for the 3:2 image ratio, which is the image ratio that most digital cameras have. And I just sized it to 8:12, which gives you the full image. The image on the right was cropped from this image, from this 3:2 image ratio image, to 8:10. And you could see we lose on the top and on the bottom. So if I had not left the room that I did when shooting 3:2, I would have lost the young lady's head. The image in the middle is a 5:7 from the full image. And you could see with the 5:7, you only lose a little bit from the top and the bottom. Now in this next image here, this was with the camera set to an image ratio of 5:4. And that image on the left of this young lady is the equivalent to an 8:10. It was cropped to 8:10, and that image scales directly up to 8:10. Now, you might think, well, what happens when you go take a 5:7 from that image? Don't you lose? And you do. You lose a little bit from the sides. You could see the 8:10, there's a little bit of room on either side of her arms, and some of that was cropped out to make the 5:7. So that's why I really like having that 5:4 image ratio, because now looking through the viewfinder, basically what I see is what I get in the final 8:10. To my knowledge, Nikon is the only manufacturer of 35mm style digital cameras to ever offer that 5:4 ratio. It first started in 2007 with the D3, the D3S, the D3X, the D4, the D4S, the D5, the D6, the D800, 810, and 850, as well as the Z7 and the Z7 II. So why not the Z9? In 1970, Mamiya introduced the RB67, a medium format camera that produced a negative that was 6 centimeters by 7 centimeters, or 2¼ by 2¾ inches. It scaled up to 8 by 10 with minimal cropping. It was called the ideal format, and portrait photographers love that camera. So Nikon, for us portrait photographers that sell 8 by 10s, 11 by 14s, 16 by 20s, etc., please give us the 5:4 image ratio. And when it's introduced, hopefully the Z8 will have it as well. Now I know for a lot of you that shoot landscapes, wildlife, sports, this may not be important to you. But it is for me, and I know it is for a lot of other portrait photographers. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I come out with a new video every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments below. I answer all questions. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.